Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We have an audience unlike any other that we've had on this beautiful day here in Burlington for this special celebration. My name is Rick Page. I'm Dean of the Larner College of Medicine, and I'm so pleased to welcome you to this very special event here in Hale Gallery and via our live stream internationally to take part in one of the University of Vermont's most revered traditions, our endowed faculty investiture ceremony. Today, we have the pleasure of recognizing and celebrating Associate Professor of Pediatrics, Dr. Danielle Ehret, as the inaugural holder of the Asfaw Yemiru Green and Gold Professorship in Global Health. We're privileged to have a number of special guests joining us today to mark this occasion, including Provost Patty Prelock, who also serves as Senior Vice President of our university, whom you'll hear from shortly. I also welcome alumnus and President of UVM Medical Center, Steve Leffler, as well as others joining us, including UVM Foundation's new President and CEO, Monica DeLisa. Monica took the helm of the foundation just last month and already has had an impact as she leads the wonderful group in the foundation who help occasions like this be possible for us. We also welcome Dr. Louis First, Chair of the Department of Pediatrics here at UVM, who you'll also hear from more this morning. And I welcome Dr. Jeffrey Horbar, the Gerald F. Lucey Professor of Neonatal Medicine in our Department of Pediatrics and Chief Executive Officer of the Vermont Oxford Network, or VAUGN as we refer to it. VAUGN is a network that it represents a nonprofit collaborative association of over 1,200 neonatal intensive care units in 38 countries across the world. Their data-driven quality improvement work has, for more than 35 years, led progress in the quality, safety, and value of care for newborns and their families. This endowed professorship was established through the generosity of the Vermont Oxford Network in honor of Asfaw Yemiru, the late humanitarian educator and fierce advocate for social justice in his native Ethiopia. Dr. Horbar will have more to say about this individual in just a few minutes. I'd also like to take this moment to welcome those who are joining us remotely from several countries in Africa, as well as family members from the Yemiru family. And among them, I'd like to acknowledge Seniet, Yisak, Leah, and Bessiam. We welcome you, your entire family, and all of the supporters here today. I'd also like to welcome the friends and supporters from the Asra Harariat School, including Tim Kinahan, Tim Hawthorne, and the VAUGN colleagues from the Ethiopian Neonatal Network. Now, endowed professorships and chairs, such as this individual Green and Gold Professorship that we're celebrating today, are among the highest academic honors that we can bestow upon faculty members here at the University of Vermont. Investing outstanding faculty members with endowed chairs and professorships allows the university to recognize and celebrate academic achievement and to further encourage scholarship, service, and clinical excellence. Endowed faculty positions are a tribute to the holder and a permanent legacy for the donors who established them. Named chairs and professorships help ensure the quality of our faculty for years to come, while clearly respecting the interests of the donors who establish and support them. Endowed professorships and chairs are also important in recruiting and retaining the very best in terms of creative researchers, the most effective research teachers, the best clinicians, and our finest leaders. Exceptional faculty members, such as Dr. Ehret, in turn create a dynamic and engaging environment that attracts outstanding faculty and colleagues and students who want to work with us here at the University of Vermont. For all these reasons, on behalf of the Larner College of Medicine, I'm tremendously grateful for this gift from the Vermont Oxford Network. It's now my great pleasure to introduce Provost and Senior Vice President Patty Prelock to offer her thoughts on this investiture. Please join me in welcoming Provost Prelock.
Thank you so much, Dean Page, and thank you all for being here to really show your support for this amazing, outstanding faculty member, Dr. Danielle Ehret, and to celebrate the vision and generosity of the Vermont-Oxford Network and the memory of Asfaw Yemiru. As UVM's provost and senior vice president, it's my great privilege as always to take part in this academic tradition. And I was telling Rick, the Larner College of Medicine is knocking it out of the park in terms of the number of professorships and green and gold professors that they're doing. So it really speaks to the quality and the amazing work that your institution is doing. So I'm really proud to be a part of that. And now to recognize Dr. Ehret for her exceptional record of service to medicine that she brings to the university and the entire community. Now, Dr. Ehret is in her 8th year of service here at UVM, and she's distinguished herself, as many of you know, in her committee work, her administrative leadership, and her exemplary clinical performance in the UVM Medical Center's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, or as we fondly know it, the NICU, and in her work in NICUs around the world. She may not know that when I first came here 25 years ago, when I was part of the Vermont ILEP program, or the LEND program, one of my favorite jobs was a NICU developmental follow-up program. And I did that for almost 15 years. Before your time, I'm aging myself. But it was always a really special thing, because as I think about what Dr. Ehret has done in her record of scholarship, and then taking what she's done for our most vulnerable infants around the world, and that there are so many people around the world who are watching this, it really speaks to the quality of faculty that we have here and the needs we have for high-risk newborns in lower and middle income countries around the world. So thank you for that commitment. And I miss the babies. Her work has been consistently supported by extramural funding, no surprise, including multiple awards from prestigious groups such as the Gates Foundation. She serves as the inaugural director of the Global Health for the Vermont-Oxford Network, and her expertise in evidence-based medicine has been recognized by her appointment as associate editor of the Cochrane Neonatal Review Group, which is charged with producing and disseminating systematic reviews of randomized controlled trials of treatment for neonatal diseases and problems, something that I use also in my own research in autism. So again, she's contributing in so many significant ways. She's also been selected as the North American representative for the International Pediatrics Association inaugural Child Health Emerging Leaders Program. Dr. Ehret clearly combines both the inquiring mind of an investigator with the caring heart of a born leader for our most vulnerable infants. UVM's land grant mission has as its core a social contract, and the Larner College of Medicine's investment in the health and well-being of our community is one of the most important and visible ways that UVM fulfills that contract, and makes me particularly proud. It advances our mission of service to our community while educating future healthcare providers. So I'm indebted to our community, to Dean Page's leadership, and to all the faculty who are making a difference clinically and in the research realm, and certainly educating our next generation of physicians. Dr. Ehret's work underscores that our community extends far beyond Vermont's borders to encompass the improvement of research, teaching, and clinical work across the globe. Dr. Ehret truly embodies the best of UVM. She's making a difference for patients and for the students she's educating. Across the university, our faculty, staff, and students are pursuing all kinds of innovative research that supports healthy societies and healthy environments, key components to our strategic vision that amplifies our impact by ensuring that students are successful, investing in the university's distinctive research strengths, and fulfilling the land grant mission that the university is so committed to. As provost, I can assure you that I will continue to do everything I can to increase support for leaders like Dr. Ehret for the Lerner College of Medicine, for the Department of Pediatrics, another favorite of mine since I have an appointment in pediatrics, and for every facet of research and care in our remarkable university. Dr. Ehret, I am delighted to welcome you to our growing ranks of endowed professors and chairs, and I look forward to continuing to celebrate all of your successes, which I know will be many in the years to come. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Provost Prelock. We always enjoy your coming back to this second home at the Lerner College of Medicine, especially for events like this, and we will do our very best to keep inviting you for similar events. It's now my pleasure to welcome an individual who's known to just everybody here and just about everybody in our region, Dr. Lewis First. Dr. First, since 1994, has served as professor and chair of the UVM Department of Pediatrics and has led pediatrics at the UVM Children's Hospital. At our College of Medicine, he also served for a time as our Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education. Since 2009, he has been editor-in-chief in the most important pediatric clinical journal, appropriately named Pediatrics. And I don't know how he's managed to do that with everything else he does, but I do get to watch his coming and going, and his car is about the first in the parking lot in the morning and the last to leave in the evening. And that may be a hint of how he gets this all done. Locally and nationally, Dr. First has garnered numerous honors. And just to name a few, the Association of American Medical Colleges Robert J. Glazier Distinguished Teacher Award. That's a national award. The American Academy of Pediatrics Medical Education Award and the Miller-Sarkin Mentoring Award. The Federation of Pediatric Organizations St. Jim Jr. Leadership Award. And here at UVM, he received the 2017 George V. Kidder Outstanding Faculty Award from the UVM Alumni Association. In 2019, he was named Chair Emeritus for many years of service and honorary member for life from the National Board of Medical Examiners after more than 20 years serving that organization. And for so many of us in Vermont and the region, he's the friendly voice of wisdom and authority for health and well-being of children through his more than 1,300 First with Kids televised segments on local media. Dr. First will have the honor of introducing Dr. Ehret to us, but first, let's all welcome Dr. Lewis First.
Thank you, but this is about Dr. Ehret today. So thank you, Dean Page, Provost Prelock, and everyone gathered here today in the Hale Gallery and around the world for this historic investiture of Dr. Danielle Ehret as the inaugural recipient of the Asfaw Yemiru Green and Gold Professorship. Let me start by extending my gratitude as well to the Vermont-Oxford Network for making this professorship possible, and in doing so, strengthening the relationship between UVM and Vermont-Oxford and our collaborative efforts to support global health research, education, and service. That being said, I can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor of receiving this professorship than our own Dr. Danielle Ehret, currently the director, as you've heard, of global health for the Vermont-Oxford Network, and an associate professor in our division of neonatal perinatal medicine in our Department of Pediatrics. Let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Ehret. Dr. Prelock, Provost Prelock gave you a little preview. She received her Bachelor of Science degree with honors in human biology, health, and society from Cornell in 2005, and her MD from the State University of New York, upstate in Syracuse in 2009. She did her internship and residency at Yale, receiving a special certificate for completing the requirements for their global health training track. That may be where it all began in 2012. She went on to complete her fellowship in the Harvard Neonatal Perinatal Medicine Training Program in 2015, where she also served as chief fellow in her final year of training. And concurrently, while doing her fellowship, also earned an M.P.H at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. We were fortunate to have her join our faculty in 2015 in our division of neonatal perinatal medicine. And at the same time, as you've heard, she became the inaugural director of global health for Vermont Oxford and was promoted to associate professor in 2019 as a result of the myriad of academic accomplishments that have continued since then, earning her this green and gold professorship today. Now, in our neonatal perinatal division, Dr. Ehret serves as the director of research and has demonstrated in that unit an exemplary record of clinical performance while fostering academic scholarship in our neonatal intensive care unit. For example, she has created a monthly research conference called Works in Progress, otherwise known as the WIP, okay, that has strengthened the research arm of the division with virtually all faculty, all of our fellows, as well as a number of nurses, advanced practice professionals, and staff participating in ongoing research projects in that unit. Academically, Dr. Ehret has sustained excellence and a scholarly approach in her own development as an independent investigator in global health issues related to high-risk newborns in lower and middle-income countries. In addition to her successful securing of ongoing extramural funding, as Provost Prelock referred to, Dr. Ehret has also actively published already in more than 20 research publications, 4 review articles, 2 commentaries in peer-reviewed journals. She's received more than 20 international invitations to speak in many countries around the world and has similar numbers of invited national invitations to speak as well. In her role as the Director of Global Health for Vermont Oxford, Dr. Ehret has developed and implemented a number of global health initiatives, including, to highlight but a few, a global health database in conjunction with the Ethiopian Neonatal Network to form a collaborative neonatal improvement and learning community focused on reducing respiratory distress and improving outcomes in high-risk infants born in Ethiopia. Dr. Ehret also partners with the African Pediatric Fellowship Program at Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town, South Africa, to mentor neonatology fellows from many countries in Africa in quality improvement and clinical research. And she remains an advisor to these fellows as they transition their role from this program back to their home countries to become leaders following graduation from the program. Most recently, Dr. Ehret has become the neonatal lead for a program called Stop Blindness in Africa, or SIBA. I'm saying that, okay? Sponsored by, or SIBA, okay. Sponsored by the International Ophthalmology and Strabismus Council and the American Association for Pediatric Ophthalmology, and is beginning this work in Rwanda. As a teacher, Dr. Ehret is also stellar. She is the co-chair of the American Academy of Pediatrics program called Helping Babies Survive. She's part of their planning group responsible for developing, editing, and implementing this international educational program in neonatal resuscitation and essential newborn care, now used in 80 plus lower and middle income countries around the world. She also organizes and teaches basically the Helping Babies Survive Master Train the Trainer. She sets them up to be the teachers in these countries to teach this course in association with Vermont Oxford and the American Academy of Pediatrics. I was personally delighted to see Dr. Ehret recently serve as co-editor for a terrific supplement that appeared in the American Academy of Pediatrics peer-reviewed journal called, what was it called? Pediatrics, that's right, called Pediatrics, entitled Helping Babies Breathe, a decade of experience in improving newborn care. Incredible supplement. Thank you, Dr. Ehret. In Ethiopia, as an educator, she has co-developed the neonatal fellowship curriculum for the Addis Ababa University College of Health Sciences School of Medicine, and has also designed a similar curriculum for advanced practice neonatal nurses in Ethiopia seeking a master's degree. She's also helped co-develop the curriculum for our neonatal perinatal medicine fellowship program, creating a global health track that we offer to our fellows who are in that program. As a mentor and as an advisor, Dr. Ehret is in high demand, as you can imagine from what I just told you, and is sought after by trainees and junior faculty on our campus, nationally and internationally, helping trainees currently in fields of neonatal perinatal medicine and nursing who reside in Italy, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and the United States, to name but a few of those countries. And most importantly, Dr. Ehret is a wonderful humanitarian and child advocate, not to mention spouse and terrific parent, who reflects the highest tenets of professionalism and humanism in everything she does. Having read the documents establishing this professorship, it is clear that the recipient of this award needs to emulate the qualities reflected by Asfaw Yemiru to ensure the health of the world's most disadvantaged children, instilling them with knowledge and with hope. Dr. Ehret brings that to this professorship and exemplifies what it has been created to do. Her strong interest, her commitment, her passion for improving the health of high-risk newborns in underserved countries, combined with her many stellar accomplishments in global health service, research, and teaching to date, and I expect many more to come, make her an ideal candidate for this recognition. And I should add, in our department's ongoing commitment to achieving and maintaining gender equity in who we are and all that we do, this investiture also makes Dr. Ehret the first female faculty member in our department to earn an endowed professorship, and a very special one at that. I am so delighted to see this honor bestowed on Dr. Ehret. And so on behalf of all of us in our department, our children's hospital, our medical school, university, and around the world, I congratulate you, Danielle. And again, thank Vermont Oxford for making this wonderful professorship possible. Congratulations to you. So it is now my duty to present you, Dr. Ehret, with a medallion that marks this occasion and signifies your status as the holder of this endowed professorship. We hope that you will wear it in front of every baby in the NICU, round the clock, sleep with it. Okay. We hope you will wear it with your academic regalia at commencement and other official university functions. Dr. Ehret, will you please come forward? Dean Page, please come forward. I will read the citation as we have the placing of the medallion. Dr. Danielle Ehret is a highly respected researcher, clinician, teacher, and scholar. She has dedicated her career to improving the lives of patients and families who face complex and challenging journeys. Through her research, her teaching, and her leadership, she will ensure that we constantly improve our ability to care for patients here in Vermont and around the world. Her presence brings great distinction to the Robert Larner MD College of Medicine at the University of Vermont and to our Department of Pediatrics. Dr. Danielle Ehret, the inaugural Asfaw Yemiru Green and Gold Professorship in Global Health, we honor you today with this medallion, which serves as an enduring symbol of the excellence you strive to achieve in all aspects of your professional life. Congratulations.
Wow, that was quite an introduction. Thank you, Dean Page, Provost Prelock, and Dr. First for that just incredible introduction, your wonderful comments. It's so wonderful that we are able to hybridly celebrate today, safely in person for our Vermont attendees, and through technology to include colleagues, friends, and family across the country and across the world. I would like to welcome everyone, especially Asfaw's family, his wife, Zanayat, and 3 children, Isaac, Leah, and Bessium. I'm so grateful to celebrate this amazing event together. I would like to start by thanking the Yemiru family for their support for this endowed professorship named in Asfaw's honor, and to the Vermont Oxford Network for establishing this legacy. I'm honored and truly humbled to be named the inaugural Asfaw Yemiru Green and Gold Professor in Global Health at the University of Vermont Larner College of Medicine. I consider myself one of Asfaw's 120,000 plus students, and so very privileged to have learned about social justice and holistic, equitable, and respectful care from him firsthand. Asfaw knew that the combination of education, nutrition, community, security, love, and hope was essential to help poor and vulnerable children improve their lives. These necessities are also essential for health and wellness. This is a lesson that unfortunately as a society, we're still learning today. Asfaw Yemiru was and is an inspiration to the people he touched to live their best lives, and he created a path for generations of children who wouldn't otherwise have been able to attend or afford school to do just that. When reflecting on Asfaw's legacy, I was struck by a quote attributed to Pablo Picasso that he truly exemplified. "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." Asfaw was a gifted and visionary leader in education, which could have led him down many paths, each with different metrics for success. However, his admirable values led him down the path to generously and selflessly dedicate his gifts to establish the Asfaw Harari School, which has provided free and exceptional education for children over 5 decades, holistically and lovingly improving the lives of generations of Ethiopian children who desperately needed a chance and a champion. It is an amazing honor and opportunity to contribute to this legacy. The personal connection I had with Asfaw and the impactful role that educators had in my life make this day even more special. As a young girl growing up in one of the poorest towns in rural upstate New York, I couldn't have even imagined a path like this was possible. Like Asfaw, my grandparents, both school teachers in my town's K-12 school, and my parents encouraged me to get the best education I could. While 20% of my high school class didn't make it to graduation and a minority enrolled in a university, my education put me on an exciting path of learning about the world and finding my place in it. I would not have been able to find my place without amazing champions, mentors, sponsors, and friends. Firstly, the person who has made my dedication to a career possible and has unparalleled juggling and parenting skills, my incredible husband, Trevor. My 3 beautiful children, Patrick, Gavin, and Julia, who are brave and understanding when my schedule is challenging and have an endless supply of thoughtful questions and creative ideas to keep me thinking outside the box. Professor Sandy Lane from Syracuse University, a mentor during medical school who opened my eyes to the power of maternal newborn public health and its role in combating health disparities locally and globally. Dr. Linda Arnold, who not only taught me how to triage and efficiently care for patients in the Yale Pediatric Emergency Department, but also how to respectfully partner with colleagues at the National University of Rwanda in teaching Helping Babies Breathe as a resident, and applying strategic problem solving to global child health problems through the IPA leadership program that she founded, and I was lucky to participate in. Dr. John Supancic, my neonatal perinatal medicine fellowship program director at Harvard, who saw a path ahead of me well before I recognized it myself. He encouraged me to dream big, have courage, work hard, and remember the brilliant team working alongside me. His confidence in me has allowed me to be brave. My amazing and brilliant peer mentors, both here today, Leslie Young and Erica Edwards, who constantly encourage me and are so fun to have brainstorming sessions with. Professor Bogali Worku, my Ethiopian sisters, Dr. Asrat and Mahlet, a truly amazing group of Vaughan volunteers that have welcomed me with open arms, and our dear friends and colleagues in the Ethiopian Neonatal Network, who have proved that our model of a learning and improvement community is possible, and have demonstrated the continued need for data-driven advocacy and improvement, giving a voice to our teams of neonatal champions. Professor Lloyd Tuke, joining us from Cape Town, South Africa, who introduced me to the African Pediatric Fellowship Program and welcomed me as an honorary African into this small but passionate and growing group of African neonatologists that have been lucky to call him a mentor and friend. Dr. Alex Stevenson in Harare, Zimbabwe, who is up for the challenge of dreaming big, or perhaps extraordinarily big, and being courageous with me in co-designing the African Neonatal Network, a partnership between Vaughan and the African Neonatal Association, a testament of incredible trust and the foundation of a wonderful friendship. If we had video on our live stream today, you'd see him celebrating Asfaw Yemiru in Harare, enthusiastically wearing green and gold to mark today's occasion. Professor Roger Saul here at UVM in Vaughan, who has been amazing support and sponsor in welcoming me to the Cochrane neonatal family and showing me the opportunity for evidence-based medicine to be an important advocacy tool for global newborn health. And last to be named, but certainly not least, Professor Jeffrey Horbar, who is the reason to move to the Green Mountain State to learn from and work with a visionary leader who has transformed and improved the landscape and culture of neonatal care, and who introduced me to Asfaw Yemiru. Thank you for your trust, generosity, mentorship, sponsorship, and friendship. I can't tell you how grateful I am for the path you have opened for me and the adventure we have trailblazing it together. It has taken a global village to prepare me to accept this incredible honor today. Thank you to the mentors I mentioned and the wonderful friends, colleagues, mentors, and multidisciplinary teams that I did not have time to call out, but are near and dear to this work and its future success. I accept this professorship in recognition of an amazing community that has supported me and Asfaw's values, and with the personal responsibility to lead a career that he would be proud of, and to be an incredible mentor, sponsor, and friend to mentees for generations to come. Thank you, Dean Page, Provost Prelak, Professor First, and Professor Horbar, the UVM and Vaughn community for your confidence in me as the inaugural holder of this wonderful professorship and honor, and for the opportunity to contribute to Asfaw Yemiru's incredible legacy here at UVM and globally.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Thank you so much for those wonderful remarks, Dr. Ehret, and congratulations again. I'd now like to ask Dr. Jeffrey Horbar to join me up front here. And acknowledge you and the Vermont-Oxford network that you represent. Dr. Horbar, the generosity of the Vermont-Oxford network has made this green and gold endowed professorship possible. This will stand as an enduring legacy of Asfaw Yemiru and to your organization's unceasing efforts to improve the lives of patients and their families throughout the world, in keeping with the missions here at the university and the Larner College of Medicine. On behalf of the Vermont-Oxford Network, please accept this duplicate medallion that a duplicate of that Dr. Ehret is now proudly wearing and won't take off. We hope this will serve as a tangible reminder of our gratitude and the acknowledgement of the extraordinary support that you provided our college. Thank you so much.
Well, I'll second your wow. Thank you, Dean Page. I'm so pleased to accept the medallion on behalf of the Vermont-Oxford Network. And I would also like to extend a warm welcome and express my sincere gratitude to the Yemiru family and to our friends and colleagues in the Ethiopian Neonatal Network who share in this honor. Asfaw Yemiru, who passed away last year, as you heard, selflessly devoted himself to the welfare of others. In a lifetime of service to those in need, he educated, provided social support, opportunity, and inspiration to over 120,000 children and their families through the Asfaw Hawariat School in Addis Ababa, which he founded. I first met Asfaw over 50 years ago when my wife Irene and I lived and worked as teachers at the Asfaw Hawariat School. And I know I speak for those of us who had the privilege of volunteering at the school when I say we all consider ourselves to be Asfaw's students. Certainly, it was Asfaw's inspiration that led to the Vermont-Oxford Network and the Global Health Program in Ethiopia, which Dr. Ehret now so ably leads. This short video that we're going to show will introduce you to this most remarkable man.
Asfaw was born in Bulga. When he was 9 years old, he walked to Addis Ababa, a trip of around 121 kilometers, with 50 cents in his pockets. For 14 months, he lived and worked on the streets of Addis until one fateful day that placed him in a domestic service to a Turkish woman. From there, he was able to attend school and win a scholarship to General Wingate boarding school.
He would often take leftover food to the homeless children of Addis, and by age 14, he had begun to give classes to the kids under a churchyard tree to teach them what he had learned that day. He was teaching up to 300 children under that tree.
On a day when the Emperor, Haile Selassie, visited the school, he darted out in front of the imperial motorcade and persuaded his Imperial Majesty to grant him some land on which he would build a school that would always be free for those who otherwise would never have had the opportunity.
In the early days, classrooms were built by the kids themselves using whatever was on hand: eucalyptus wood from the trees that had cleared, broken bricks from the local brick factory. The earliest classrooms had shelves which were used as bunks by the orphans until dormitories could be built. And finally, in the 1990s, the orphanage was closed and all such children placed with local foster families who could give them a home, a street, and neighborhood normalcy. He offered education, hope, and a future, and they grasped it with open arms. Not many years later, new internationalists described him as one of the most remarkable men in Africa today, a man of determination and vision who changed the lives of tens of thousands of his fellow countrymen for the better.
Now, almost 60 years later, the Asra Hawariat, Footsteps of the Apostle School, is still going strong and will carry on its founder's vision. Since its foundation, the school, now on 2 campuses, has educated over 120,000 children. It has been through tough times, navigating the collapse of the imperial regime, the Red Terror, Stalinist dictatorship, and civil war, at the end of which the school compound became a field hospital for war wounded and a transit camp for soldiers.
Since his 20s, he was Gashi, a term of respect loosely translated as my protector to many Ethiopians. During his lifetime, Asfaw achieved much and was recognized internationally. In 2001, he was awarded the World's Children's Prize for the Rights of the Child and given an award for his humanitarian contribution from the La Coruña branch of Terre de Hombres in Spain, 2003. But most important was the recognition he gained amongst his people. As one of his former pupils wrote recently, he saw talent, he saw hope, he saw a future. He believed in his students so much that we began to believe in ourselves. Since starting education at Asra Hawariat, we credit Gash Asfaw Yemiru, who gave his life to change our previous living situations. Long live our precious father.
Well, congratulations, Danielle, on your so well-deserved appointment as the inaugural Asfaw Yemiru Green and Gold Professor. By instilling your strong belief in Asfaw's ideals of equity and social justice in your teaching, scholarship, and service, you will enable medical students, postgraduate trainees, and faculty at the Larner College to all become Asfaw's students. Thank you.
As we reflect on this day and this week and perhaps this month, I'm struck by the fact that this is about as meaningful of one of these ceremonies as I've ever participated in, and just seeing that just brings clear an arc of an individual who would be so proud of what we're doing here today. So the meaning is not lost on any of us, and no matter what happens in our day or week, to reflect on this very, very positive event. They're unbreakable, Jeffrey. So that will make it even more special. As we reflect on this event, I hope it brings you all hope for the future in terms of our faculty, in terms of our world. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Dr. Horvar. I'm deeply grateful to you and the Vermont-Oxford Network for making this possible for us. Here at the college, we take pride every day in the important research, the clinical care, and the teaching of our faculty. So much of our work is enriched by generosity from our donors, and it's rare that there's this sort of legacy involved, but every one of these donations, every green and gold professorship, every endowed professorship, every chair makes a difference for our institution, for our faculty, and the patients and families we serve here and globally. Speaking of globally, I can't see you out there in whatever time zone you're in, but we're so grateful for everyone who's joined us today for this very special event. I wish you a good morning, a good afternoon, a good night, sleep well, But thank you especially for joining us. I will also mention that when the live stream ends, it's abrupt. So this is goodbye and farewell a little bit in advance. And as we conclude the formal program here, I just do want to acknowledge the fact that we're still in the middle of a pandemic. But that being said, it's nice that we're here together, and we do have some refreshments for you. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. Again, congratulations, Dr. Ehret, and everybody, please have a great day. Thank you.